As I was finishing up editing this video that I did, and I talked about C.S. Lewis and his quote about us being too easily pleased, and I think it was Desiring God was the title thought of the day. And I talked about Psalm 73 when he said, "Whom have I in heaven but you? There's none on earth I desire besides you. My heart and my flesh may fail, but God's the strength of my portion forever." Something like that. Psalm 73 verses 25 to 26. And as I was editing this video, at the end, I was talking about desiring God, we desire him more. And in that video, I was also talking about the idea that C.S. Lewis said we're so busy, enjoying these things like, sex and all this stuff and drink. And I talked about how we sometimes even take pleasure in other people doing it as we watch actors and actresses watch and pretend to live in lives. Then I had this thought, there's a whole industry out there of people watching other people play video games. Now I get it, you can learn from people, tutorials, but some people just simply watch, not only watch them play videos, they pay them, like literally will pay them as they're playing to support them in what they're doing. Hey, I'm not judging, but I'm saying the idea that you can be playing a video game yourself. Do you know that? But that's not what I'm talking about today. As I was in that video, I thought of a verse that I did include in that video, and I think it's an important verse. Psalm 16:11 says this, "You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there's fullness of joy, and at your right hand there's pleasures evermore." Again, Psalm 16:11. "You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there's fullness of joy, and at your right hand there's pleasures evermore." And I think about that in his presence there's fullness of joy, that we're busy trying to find and to squeeze out every bit of enjoyment in this world, excluding God, like leaving God out. I remember a quote that somebody said about sitcoms. He said, all sitcoms have this one evil thing in mind. They leave God out. They leave God. They create a world, whether it's the Cosby Show or I don't even watch many sitcoms these days anymore, but whatever TV show, they have a mom and a dad sometimes, and they have this family and they do all these activities, but they leave God out. And I thought, wow, that's really deep. And I think in some senses in our world, we're trying to enjoy all the things from the Creator, but leaving the Creator out. We try to enjoy all the stuff that God has given to us to enjoy, but we do it without him. And we will never find happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment outside of God. In your presence, the psalmist said, is fullness, or speaking of God, and at your right hand there's pleasures evermore. The previous thought of the day was desiring God, but I guess we can say that again. May we see the real desire in God, because in his presence is fullness of joy, and in his right hand there's pleasure evermore. That true joy and satisfaction is only found in God. So keep seeking him. As I quoted before, he said, if you seek me, you will find me when you search for me with all of your heart. Let's give our hearts over to God and not to things that this world has to offer us. And sometimes even good things that God has given to us to enjoy. But I don't think he ever meant those things to be enjoyed without him, because he is the true treasure. Again, Psalm 16:11. I'll read it to you so I don't misquote it. "You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there's fullness of joy, and at your right hand there's pleasures forevermore." Psalm 16:11.